Hello, this is Tutorials with Travis. Today I'm going to talk about row echelon form. Not the full form, just kind of the idea and the concept behind it. We're going to start with an augmented matrix and what that looks like. Let me draw that up real quick. So, actually I got this thing chilling here. I'll use this. Okay, so we're going to have, I'm just going to start with zeros and ones to kind of give the viewer an idea of what everything should look like. I have question marks for values that don't really matter. They just kind of change with everything else. Okay, this is a 2x2 row and column augmented matrix. 2 columns, 2 rows. And look at that. It'll be a bottom one right here. So here's your 1, there's your 0, here's a 1, question mark, question mark, question mark. Those are the values that will change but don't matter. Okay. So what's going on out there? Anyways, I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds like somebody's trying to break in somewhere. Okay. We're going to start with a 2x2, so it'll be your x plus y and x plus y. 2 equations. Each equation represents a row. The x, the y's, the z's, the variables represent your columns. Those are going to be your columns. You're going to have your x's in one column, your y's in another column, and your z's in another column, and the values that those equations equal to or equate to. We'll start with x plus y equals, it's very basic. The leading coefficient is going to be 1 anyways. For any variable that has no coefficients, the coefficient will automatically by default be considered as 1, because 1 times x, 1 times y, 1 times z is x, y, or z. Nothing changes. Also, take note that if you have any zeros, that it's actually 0 times your variable, 0x, 0y, 0z. Okay. X plus y equals 5, x, negative x minus y equals 10. Very basic set of set of equations. Let's see. X plus y equals 5, negative x minus y equals 10. Very basic. You'll see different variations of any type of any equations, but they all must follow the same set of rules, and that's that they got to look like this at the end. Your leading coefficients to the topmost of the rows has to be greater leftmost to the second row, and a row after that, and a row after that. So an example would be right here. This top row, his leading coefficient to the leftmost has a value. Second row, the second leftmost has a value. The next value after that, or the most farthest leftmost, is 0. So all values to the top level of coefficients, the values below it will be zeros. So yeah. And I'll elaborate a little bit more on that in the next example. But for this one, we have our x plus y and our negative x minus y. When we handle these equations to put it in the 1 and then the 1, the 1, 0, whatever number, or 1 question mark, 0, 1 question mark, in order to achieve that, we have to change that specific row. So the row for these, oh, and by the way, we're going to put this in row echelon form, these 2 equations. We're going to put these in augmented matrix. So that would look like and another thing I need to explain, it's usually done a lot. You gotta bear with me, this is my first video and I don't really know what I'm doing, but as far as videos go. But for the augmented matrix, this one, and this, you see this line that divides the variables, coefficients with the end result? That's also something that needs to be there. And it's just to, to know that these are variables and these are the values that the equation's equal. And so now in order to change the value, so we need to change this -1 to 0 because the topmost value has to have zeros all below it. In order to achieve that, what do? Well, when we change the row, what we could do is we can add another row to it. We can subtract another row to it. We can multiply another row. We can divide another row. And I believe that's all you can do. You might be able to do some other things, but as far as I'm aware of, that's the only. Yeah. But okay. So let me give you an example of what that is. So we're gonna notify this row as row 2. This will be row 2. This is the one that changes. Any rows, whether it be row 1, row 3, that we add, divide, subtract from, to use to get that value, will not change. It cannot change. We're not using it to change it. We're just simply changing the values based off what those rows equate. Not 100% exactly why that is, but I can tell you there's definitely a reason, and I just don't know the reason right now. Definitely find out though. I guess in order for them to all have a relation, there has to be that relation. So the variables in this would be affected by these because of the connection that you're trying to make between all the variables. So